If I'm asking you why uranium is considered as a radioactive element, and you must remember, not only uranium is the one who considered a radioactive element, but cesium, rubidium, radium, and others are considered radioactive elements, and that's because their nuclei contain a number of neutrons more than the number needed to be stable. We have two types of radioactivity. We have natural radioactivity and artificial radioactivity. Natural radioactivity, they are the nuclear radiations which are emitted all the time automatically throughout the nuclei of the radioactive elements which are spread in nature on the Earth's crust. While the artificial radioactivity, it is the radiation which is released during the nuclear reactions that occur inside the nuclear reactors, or those radiations which are emitted vigorously out of the nuclear bombs during their explosions. From the peaceful uses in which we use the nuclear energy, we use them in medical field to diagnose and treat some diseases like cancer. In agricultural field, we use nuclear energy to kill and eliminate pests and to improve some plant races. While in industrial field, we can convert sand to silicon by using those nuclear energy to use those silicon sheets in manufacturing computer processors and in manufacturing of programmed electric circuits used in electric appliances. And also we can use the nuclear energy in industrial field to find the defects in the manufactured products. And according to generating of electricity, we can use the huge amounts of heat energy that are coming out through the nuclear reactions which occur inside the nuclear reactors to boil water. And the steam from this boiling water, is used to move turbines to generate electricity. In space exploration, we can use nuclear energy to produce nuclear fuel, which we use in launching of rockets and the spacecrafts. Drilling for petroleum oil and underground water is a very important field in which we use the nuclear energy. Radiation pollution. It's an increase in the amount of radiation in the environment. And from the reasons of increasing the amount of radiations in nature, natural reasons and artificial reasons. From the natural reasons which cause increasing the amount of radiation in the environment, maybe natural radioactive materials found on the rocks of the Earth, or cosmic radiations coming from the outer space. While from the artificial sources of radiation pollution, explosion of nuclear bombs, and the huge amounts of radiations which may come out when any nuclear reactor got damaged. From example on the nuclear radiation, from examples on the radiation pollution is the explosion of the Russian nuclear reactor Chernobyl in 1986. This released radiations which were carried by the wind to the surrounding European countries. When rain fell, radioactive elements or the isotopes of radioactive elements such as isotopes of iodine and isotopes of cesium were deposited in the soil. Decayed the nuclear fuel uranium-235 during the Chernobyl accident produced the atomic dust, which fell on the soil by dry falling or by falling with rain to the earth. Herbivores, such as cows and sheep, feed on polluted plants. The radiation affects their milk and meat. Wait a second. What's meant by isotopes of radioactive elements? Isotopes are not restricted to the radioactive elements only. Any element in nature may have its own isotope, and it may be an isotope or isotopes. So, what are these isotopes? Isotopes of any element are images of the same element which have the same atomic number as the normal and as the original element, but they differ in the atomic weight. Now, the dangers of exposure to radiation. What will happen if I'm exposed to a large doses of radiation, even if it's for a short period of time? If your body is exposed to a huge dose of radiation, even if it's for a short period of time, this will cause at once damage to the digestive system, spleen, and central nervous system, and also damage the bone marrow. The bone marrow is the part of your body which is responsible for production of red blood cells. So, when this part is damaged, this will reduce the number of red blood cells inside your body, which make the person sick and having sore throat, nausea, vertigo, and diarrhea. You have to know that radiation pollution is one of the reasons of leukemia, where the white blood cells devour red blood cells. While, on the other hand, when you are exposed to a small doses of radiation, but for a long period of time, which may reach months or years, this will cause physical defects inside your body like skin cancer, or may cause genetic changes, such when the sex chromosomes got changed inside the body of the mothers, which result in abnormal births for her babies. Changes in the structure of the cell, such as the change in the structure of hemoglobin found in the red blood cells. These changes make red blood cells incapable of carrying oxygen. To measure the amount of radiation or nuclear radiation absorbed by the human body, we use a unit called sievert. The safe dose of nuclear radiation that our body can bear depends on age of the person, the period of time of exposing to the radiation, and the part of the human body which is exposed to the radiation. But you have to know that the safe dose when you are exposed to nuclear radiation differ from the radiologists than the public one. For the radiologists, they can expose to 20 millisievert per year, while for public is 1 millisievert per year only. How to protect ourselves from radiations? First of all, we are not allowed to exceed the safe dose of radiation that our body can be exposed to. The second way to protect ourselves from radiation is for the persons who handle radioactive elements in nuclear reactors and hospitals. They should wear protective gloves, suits, and masks. When storing radioactive wastes, take the following precautions, please. Radioactive wastes should be stored away from the underground water resources to prevent their pollution, and radioactive wastes must be stored in a stable area away from volcanoes and earthquakes. Radioactive wastes must be stored away from lands and caves to prevent the pollution from reaching animals. Finally, hoping that you make a good use of such lesson. Thank you and goodbye.